So, just how deep do you think this subcompact tractor and tiller combo can cut into this garden dirt behind me? And probably more importantly, can this underpowered tractor with an oversized tiller even handle the workload at full depth? I tell you what, I don't know the answer to that. I've never tried, but I'm fixing to find out. So on our way there, why don't you go down to the comments section, leave your best guess at how deep this can cut and whether or not this tractor can even pull it. First thing we're going to do, we're going to go to the driveway. We're going to adjust the skids on this, set it to go as deep as it'll go. I'll meet you there. Welcome to Abundant Life Homestead. If you haven't hit that back button yet, do yourself a favor and hit that like and subscribe button instead. That doesn't just help me. Those two buttons plus your comments and your watch time tells the algorithm that you want to see more videos just like this. So hit those buttons and you just might find more of me in your feed. So today we're going to take this tiller, we're going to adjust it so it cuts as deep as it can go. We're going to get a measurement to see how deep theoretically it'll cut. Then we're going to get it out in the field and we're going to see how deep it actually cuts. Probably be a two-part video. We'll do all the mechanical adjustments and testing in part one, and in part two we'll go out and we'll finish all the tilling. So to get started with this job, you really only need two tools: a 3/4 inch wrench, 3/4 inch socket on a ratchet. Another thing that helps, have a block or something to hold up your back gate so you can get to some of these nuts. And if you've never adjusted the height of your tiller, you probably want a breaker bar and a cheater bar around, because those nuts get pretty tight. A couple other things I have today: I've got some P-Blaster to put on a couple of these studs because they're getting a little corroded, and I got a yardstick just so we can take a measurement and see just how far this thing is supposed to cut. So if you watch my video on shallow tilling, this is going to seem a little familiar. We've got three nuts to be concerned with here. One here, here, and here. It's not facing the front. We're only ever going to loosen. It doesn't need to come off. We just need that skid to be able to rotate on that bolt. Back it off a little more because I'm going to spray it when I'm done. Alright. Now these two nuts, depending on where you're going with the tiller, they either need to come off or you don't need to mess with them. Might loosen them just so this bar can rotate as you're putting the other one on. Now I have never actually set this tiller to full depth. The reason I haven't done that is because either way you look at it, my tractor is underpowered or the tiller is oversized. My tractor is 16 horsepower. This King Kutter XB-48 is suggested for 18 to 25 horsepower. And the tiller weighs 540 pounds. And the lift capacity of my 3-point hitch is supposed to be 400 pounds. So definitely a little too big for its britches here. But I bought this tractor with the tiller as part of a package from a guy. I'm going to cut that mud off of there. About 10 years ago I bought this tractor and it came with this tiller. And he told me it had some issues running this tiller, and I've always had a few issues. This tractor is really intended for a 42 or 36 inch tiller. That's never been in the books for us here on the Homestead, so we're kind of sticking with this one for now. I don't know if all these holes are the same. Like I said in the intro, I'm fixing to find out because I've never done it. Never done it all the way. So if I put it about here, nope, I can't get there. If I put it here, nope, I'll never make it there. Okay, so it looks like for our deepest till, here's the middle hole and the bottom hole. And that's not going to go all that deep, I think. We'll find out here shortly. Oh, I was going to spray these bolts down too. Get these bolts with a little blaster before we put it back together. Bottom hole, middle hole. Be good enough there. So something else you might notice if you've watched my other tilling videos is anytime I'm talking about or working on this tiller, I've got it straight up and down perpendicular to the ground. But when I'm actually working it, the tiller's tilted way in. Reason for that is my top link. This thing is way too heavy for what this tractor is supposed to be. This tiller has eaten top links for lunch more times than I care to discuss. So the only way to keep from bending my top links is to run them all the way in, and you'll see that when we get out in the field. So let's get on this, working on this side. Scrape the mud off first this time. Just learned that on the other side. Should have sprayed it down before we started. This side, I'm going to take this one all the way off just so I can spray down that whole bolt. Oh, that nut's hot. A lot of friction there. Still hot. Yep. And P-Blaster will do the job it always does. You thought I'd learn from the other side, take the bottom first, but that's alright. Okay, so we learned over there we need the middle hole and the bottom hole. Spray the bolts. Middle hole, bottom hole. Alright, there we have it. Let's take a measurement and see where it's supposed to cut. Alright, running right through the middle here with the tines sitting on the pavement. We're showing about 2.5 inches is the cut that this is going to make. We know from experience weight of this tiller is going to push that down in the ground. I'm going to guess she'll cut closer to 4 when we actually do it, but we're going to go find out. let's see what we got here. Now we measured mechanically, she would cut 2.5 inches about. Looks like I was even off a little bit. Right there in the center of the cut, we're almost 4 3/4 inches deep. So mechanically she'll cut 2.5 inches. In practice she'll cut 4 3/4. That 4 3/4 inches ain't good enough, is it? We did what we came to do. We adjusted the tiller to its deepest depth. We measured it, see how deep it should mechanically cut. We tested it in practice, but I want to go deeper. That's going to take some time and a lot of work. So make sure you're subscribed, followed, because in part 2, I'm going to make several passes and see just how deep this will go. We're either going to bury it or bog it down. So, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Hope you found this interesting, or maybe even learned a little something. Part 2 will be coming up soon, so we'll see you then. And from Abundant Life Homestead, hope you have a blessed day. Thank you.